Good morning, students. So far we had seen how atoms combine to form molecules and even small molecules combine to form bigger molecules by chemical bonding. We had seen formation of covalent bond by sharing of electrons. We had seen formation of ionic bond by gain and loss of electron and a force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions. And the force of attraction's name was electrovalent bond or electrostatic force of attraction between the oppositely charged bonds. We had also seen how bond formation takes place through valence bond theory, and we had also seen that how the molecular structure is assumed due to the electron pair repulsion in Weisbach theory. Now, the drawbacks of all these theories were that they were not able to quantify the use of the core electrons in its contribution to form bond, and how the magnetic properties and the electrical properties of the molecules were to be explained was not very much clear with those theories. Then we had discussed how the core electrons take part in bond formation. We had seen the wave function psi and how the constructive interference of the atomic orbital, that means the space around the nucleus where probability of finding electron is maximum, combines by constructive interference to form molecular orbital and combines in the opposite phase to form anti-bonding orbitals and non-bonding orbitals. This we had seen in the introductory discussion about molecular orbital theory. Today we will be practicing to fill up the electrons in the molecular orbitals of the molecules like hydrogen to neon 2. Although neon 2 molecule is not possible, so we have to prove that it is not possible by showing that the number of electrons in the bonding molecular orbital and the number of electrons in the anti-bonding orbitals are same, as a result of which as much of effect of electrons to form bond is there, that much of effect of electrons are there to repel it. As a result, any two molecule is not possible. So we'll see how the core electrons also take part in the bond formation in molecular orbital theory from the beginning, and this will be a practice session in which we practice filling up of electrons in the atomic orbitals and subsequently in the molecular orbitals. The Hounslow and the Aufbau principle is applied in this case also, wherein the electrons first of all are filled up in the lower energy level and then the electrons are filled up in the higher energy level. First of all, the electrons are filled up singly and then after pairing occurs. These rules are applicable in atomic orbitals also as well as in molecular orbital. I had been a little fast because I was giving you a reference of the previous topics which we have studied, but now I will be slow and I will be giving you a practice which is required to be done. So, molecular orbital of hydrogen molecule. First of all, we will draw atomic orbital 1s1, 1s1. Now when bond formation takes place, the energy lowers down and the electrons they pair up, and due to non-constructive interference of the atomic orbital's wave function, non-bonding orbital is formed and their energy level is more than the average energy level. So this energy is energy of stabilization. This is the potential energy. So non-bonding molecular orbital will be having more energy and bonding molecular orbital will be having less energy because it gives stability to the molecule, it gives instability to the molecule. Since two s orbitals are combining, so it will form sigma bonding 1s2. This is 1s1, this is 1s1, and sigma anti-bonding 1s2 will not be there, it will be 1s0. H2 molecule is very much possible because bond order, that means the number of covalent bonds present between the atoms. A quantifying idea is given by bond order, which is found out by number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons divided by 2 will be equal to 2 minus 0 by 2 will be equal to 1. So see, when one hydrogen atom and another hydrogen atom combines, they form one covalent bond. So one covalent bond is seen between two hydrogen atoms. So with molecular orbital theory, we were able to quantify the number of covalent bonds which can be possible between two atoms. I need to see the camera on and often to see whether it is getting blurred or not. Else I will be keeping on teaching and the figure will become blurred. Next, molecular orbital of helium molecule, say. For helium molecule, H will be same. I will write He2. Okay. And here we will write atomic orbital 1s2 of helium. This is atomic orbitals of helium. This is atomic orbitals of helium 1s2 and 1s2. Two atoms will come closer and their molecular orbital will be formed. First formed will be sigma bonding 1s. Second formed will be sigma anti bonding 1s. This is the average energy level. How many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will fill up 1, 2, 3, 4 using Hounsfield and Aufbau principle. This shows the energy level. This shows the potential energy level of the orbitals. Now here we see that bond order is equal to number of bonding electron minus number of anti-bonding electron by 2 is equal to 2 minus 2 by 2 equal to 0. That means He2 molecule is not possible. Is not possible. But He2 plus molecule is possible. But He2 divalent ion molecule or ion is possible. Can you find out the reason? Why? Because if you take out these two electrons, then bond order will become number of bonding electron minus number of anti-bonding electron by 2 will be equal to 2 minus 0 by 2 will be equal to 1. So see, mathematically it can be quantified whether any ion is possible or not, whether any molecule is possible or not. So this was about the molecular orbital of hydrogen and helium. We will go for lithium now. Lithium has 1s2 and 2s1. One is 2 and 2s1. They will form bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now I have to bring it down. Next, this will form sigma bonding 2s2 or 2s and sigma anti-bonding 2s. Now we will fill up the electrons. How many electrons are there? 3 and 3, 6. So we will use Hounsfield and Aufbau principle 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. We will name it. This will be sigma bonding 1s2. This is sigma anti-bonding 1s2. This is sigma bonding 2s2. This is sigma anti-bonding 2s2. Now if you have to find out the bond order, then number of bonding electron minus number of anti-bonding electron by 2. It will be equal to, bonding is, this one is bonding, this one is bonding. So 4, anti-bonding is 2. So it will be equal to 4 minus 2 by 2 equal to 2 by 2 equal to 1. So yes, metallic bonding between lithium ion or lithium atom is possible. Metallic bondings are there between lithium atoms, it is possible. Okay, next we will see beryllium. This was of lithium molecule. Okay, this was of lithium molecule. Now we will see in case of beryllium molecule. In beryllium molecule, what will happen? One electron will get added over here. So we'll add one electron now. We'll make it half spin, 1, half spin, 1. This will be beryllium now. This will be beryllium now. And we will find out the bond order for Be2. So now 4 electrons are there here and 4 electrons are there here. Total 8 electrons are there. So 2 more electrons will be filled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons by 2 is equal to 4 minus 4 by 2 equal to 0. So see, direct bonding between beryllium and beryllium is very less found. If you will see molecules like beryllium chloride, you will find that they form bridge bonding. Indirectly. So there is no direct bond between beryllium atoms. Then we will see molecular orbitals of boron or B2. Keep in mind that boron can undergo catenation. Like in borane and various other boranes, it forms a long chain of boron-boron kind of a covalent bond. So we can expect some kind of bond order in case of B2. Let us see. So what will be the difference? Here, one p orbital will get introduced. When S and S overlaps, then they can only form sigma bond. They can only form sigma bond. But when P and P overlaps, it can overlap in two ways. It can overlap in head-on wise, so it will form sigma bond, or it can undergo lateral overlapping to form pi bond also. That is why the molecular orbital which will be formed using the p orbitals will be both types, p type, sigma type also and pi type also. Now how is it like? First of all, it forms pi bonding 2p y or pi bonding 2py or 2p molecular orbital. How many? This is px, this is px, this is py, this is pz, this is py, and this is pz. So this Py and Pz are the two which can undergo lateral overlapping, because the first formed will be of the Px. Px will undergo sigma bond formation, and Pz and Py will form pi bonding. So there will be two orbitals which can be written like this, and its energy level will be same. They will be of degenerate. They will be degenerate. This word degenerate means they are of equal energy level. So we'll write pi bonding 2py and pi bonding 2pz. And the x and x, they will combine to form sigma bonding 2px. Similarly, the same trend will be followed, wherein this will form pi nt bonding 2py and pi nt bonding 2pz and sigma nt bonding 2px. So in this way, the p orbital can form molecular orbital. The bonding molecular orbital will be always at a lower energy level than the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So accordingly, we will arrange this also. We will just change a little bit so that logically this is correct. It will be in this level. Now we have taken example of boron. So we'll fill up the atomic orbitals of boron. So 1 electron more will be there. So filling up of the electron takes place in such a way that first of all the orbitals of same energy level are filled up singly, and then after pairing occurs. So since this orbital and this orbital are degenerate, they are of same energy level. So we will be filling up like this: 1, 2. Now bond order we will find out. Bond order will be equal to number of bonding orbitals are 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and number of anti-bonding orbitals are 2 and 3, 4. So it is by 2 is equal to 2 by 2 equal to 1. So yes, see, between boron and boron bonds are possible. B2H6 boron. Next, in case of carbon, we will see C2. Carbon also shows catenation. Carbon also shows catenation. So hence it will also have some bond order. So we'll write the atomic orbitals of carbon. AO of carbon. AO of carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we fill up the electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 9, 10 and 11 and 12, because they are of same energy level. So they will be paired up, and then after electron will go to higher energy level. So we will write it here. This is 2px, 2py, 2pz, 2px, 2py, 2pz. What kind of molecule will this be? All the electrons are paired up. So it will be diamagnetic, because there is no unpaired electron in this. So bond order will be number of bonding electron minus number of anti-bonding electron by 2. Bond electrons are equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 4 by 2. So this will become 4 by 2 equal to 2. So yes, double bond is possible between carbon and carbon, very much possible in case of ethene. Higher the bond order, more is the covalency. Now let us see in case of nitrogen. In case of nitrogen, what will happen? One more electron will come here, one more electron will come here, and these two electrons will come over here. So we write atomic orbitals of nitrogen, and this will become N2 molecule. So in this case we will write number of bonding orbitals are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And number of anti-bonding orbitals are 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2 is equal to 6 by 2 equal to 3. So see, between nitrogen and nitrogen, triple bond is possible. So this theory was so close to quantifying the number of bonds between the atoms. Now up to nitrogen, this scheme is followed. Now after nitrogen, there is a slight difference in the pattern of filling of electrons. There is a slight difference. Now what I will do is I will show you that difference. For after nitrogen, remember, the scheme will not be same. That means molecular orbital of O2, F2 and Ne2 will be little different. The difference will be here. This sigma 2pz orbitals will come down and it will go up. So this small difference we have to make. Only this much difference. So pi bonding, molecular orbital, pi 2py and pi 2pz will come up, and sigma 2p will come down. This is the only difference which we have to remember, and rest filling up of the electron will be in the same manner. Now in case of O2, say if we take O2, then what we will do? We will put one more electron here. We will put one more electron here. We will write molecular orbitals of O, molecular orbital of O. Now what will happen? How many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons are to be filled up.